Hello, welcome to another episode of the Wonder Club, where I talk about curiosity, new perspective, personal stories, and where it can take us. I, at the moment, it's mostly my stories. Maybe it won't be always the case in the future. And I've been working on this project for the last year. It started as a podcast newsletter, and I have now decided to read the episodes also and record myself in the process and share them with you right here. So, this episode is the number 6. It's called Ready, Set, Go, Travel. Juggling between adventure and relaxation, and how travel is a mix of discovery, serendipity, and planning versus going with the flow for me. I reflect on my evolving travel style, from childhood adventures to embracing slower, more meaningful trips, sharing my experiences of balancing planning with spontaneity, exploring like a local, and packing light. I dive into how travel continually surprises me and what works for me to enjoy the journey ahead. Welcome to the club. Dear Wonder Club, as summer unfolds, at least on this side of the world, I can't help but dive into one of my favorite pastimes, planning trips. There's a special kind of joy in imagining the places I want to explore, the new experiences awaiting, and the familiar faces I might reconnect with. Growing up, vacations meant simple pleasures: beach days with family, finding the perfect spot by the pool, and countless adventures with my cousins at my grandma's house. That's true. That makes me nostalgic. Um, those days were mostly uncomplicated, and I just went with the flow because it was nice, sure, but also because kids just follow adults' planning. Nowadays, my travel style has evolved from packing every moment and needing a vacation from my vacation to embracing a slower, more meaningful, and relaxed pace. I went from having a list of must see buildings and activities, from waking moment to sleeping time, to just a few highlights where I'd like to eat or visit. And I actually find that with the time, I've been taking it slower and slower. I still think I'm young, however. One unexpected gift from my country's challenging political situation has been the many friends I know have around the world. This silver lining has allowed me many times to blend visits with new discoveries, which is a win win, and I know it makes me very lucky. Just the other day, it was my turn to be with someone visiting over. I showed a university friend and his colleague around the city. Their enthusiasm and the rare perfect weather made me see Ghent once more through fresh eyes. Their words at the end of the day: "You really love this place, don't you?" struck a chord with me. I have come to know quite a lot about the city by making free walking tours when I had visitors. My partner says I now give the best walking tours, and I choose to believe him. Just imagine a medieval city known as the Three Towers City, with canals of water all around. It's a place where cobblestone streets lead you to heathen courtyards, Gothic cathedrals, and charming cafes and city parks. With loads of history, but still vibrant and alive with locals and tourists alike. In less than a month, there's also the Gänsefesten, which is an annual summer celebration that transformed the city into a festival ground for 10 days, filled with music, theater, and endless activities. How not to love this place? Oh, I still feel like this up to this day. Balancing travel with genuine downtime is something I'm learning to appreciate. Last year, I took a bold step by leaving my laptop behind for a short trip. It might sound silly, but I'm so used to working while traveling that deciding otherwise was hard. I just said this today. It's very funny that I was recalling this experience. If I can work a bit and also explore a new place, it sounds like a great combination, right? And I agree. This has been my way for over 5 years. The issue, I think, is that it was the only way. Recently, I've noticed that I haven't been prioritizing relaxing without any work related distractions. I don't know if you're like me, but chances are that, yeah, someone else is. And if it's you, let's try to always make space to enjoy and recharge without a laptop inside. Looking back at what makes a good trip for me, I pinpointed a few things I always try to do. And these are my pro tips. The first one is staying flexible. I plan things, but leave plenty of room for spontaneity. Spontaneity. Oh my God, this word is very hard. For being spontaneous. Yeah. Weather changes, closures, last minute adjustments, and other people's agendas can alter plans. So keeping expectations low and being okay with a plan B brings me peace of mind. Packing light. This isn't just practical. It also helps save money on tickets by not needing a carry on or checked bags. Plus, it makes moving around on trains, buses, everywhere easier. And I always end up buying something. This is true. So having a bit of having a bit of an extra space is also essential for me. I swear by packing cubes. I don't know if you have tried them, but I am obsessed with them. I really, really like them. Also because when you take them out of the backpack and you just put them on a drawer, it's like you have everything like easy access. I don't know. I'm really just a fan. Then taking comfortable shoes. Uncomfortable shoes has already ruined the trip for me and my feet. And I'd most likely do more and enjoy my day when I'm comfortable. This also applies for clothes, but shoes are just a must for me and still is really like I die with bad shoes. So I know there's people who really likes the picture and changing outfits, and I agree, but shoes, they have to be good. Booking a free walking tour. This is something I still like very much, which is connecting with the place through its history. It's usually very important for me because, yeah, I feel like everything becomes like suddenly more meaningful. And walking around helps me discover so much. These tours usually are tip based and around 2 hours long. So they give me a good sense of the city, and I often get great recommendations from the guide. Just you can Google free walking tour and put the name of the city that you're going. They're usually in so many languages, and there's also different companies that can do them that changes schedule. So you can really just find something that will suit you. Enjoying like a local. I do, of course, include tourist spots because, right, we go to a city to discover, but I avoid the overpriced tourist trap. Like the restaurant with these multi-languages menus, I don't like them. And I also think locals don't need that. So why? Why would I go there? I also try to check if the people already dining are speaking the country's language. I think these are good indicators to know if they are trying to build a clientele and then make sure that people wants to come back. So yeah, maybe this works for you too. Another one is avoiding chain restaurants and shops. If a store or restaurant is available in other cities, I skip it. I just prefer to find like these tiny designers and people that own businesses that you cannot find somewhere else. I think it will make it more likely for me to buy something or to eat somewhere when in a new place. Then exploring local supermarkets. I love taking time to see what they sell and get curious about local products. And supermarkets are also budget friendly most of the time because you can then buy whatever fits your own budget. So usually I splurge a little. Checking in advance if things are worth booking ahead, whether it's restaurant, museum, or concert. If it's very popular, it will probably be booked quite quickly. Saving places on your maps. I book more places on Google Maps, and I like to visit or return to, and I check also whenever, because if I have them saved in advance, then when I like to wander around in a city, so I can just go to my maps and see if there's any of the ones that I saved nearby. This I find it Yeah, very nice, because then it's like serendipity. I was supposed to enter here. I'm already next to it. So yeah. Challenging myself, stepping out of my comfort zone, which is basically trying food and activities I wouldn't choose for back home. The challenging hike I would usually avoid, I'm all in. Or like walking, I don't know, 20,000 steps, whatever it is to take. Every time I'm like shopping or like traveling, my phone always tells me, you passed your fitness like goal, whatever. So that's cool. I try to prioritize experiences over things, and yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. When choosing destinations, I tend to give priority to places I haven't been yet, locations where I have friends or family, or places hosting a special event or festival. Well, and lastly, deals. Good prices are always tempting. And this one, not so important for everyone, but double checking visa requirements. I mean, for everyone, there's people who needs less visas than others. So I tend to buy cheaper tickets that don't allow easy changes. So additionally, my husband and I have different nationalities, so we often can visit the same places without a visa. So this step is a must for me. Maybe you're the same. Maybe you will go to a place that you've never been. So just make sure to double check ahead. And yeah, no matter if in the past I planned just to go back home after a very long time without visiting, which was 9 years for me, the longest period that I've been without going to Venezuela, and finally made it to a much awaited destination, with South Korea and Japan being the next on my list. There still are. Or that time I decided it was finally time to see my favorite band that year. And then a few weeks later, I received a message from a friend telling me that they were going to play in her city and that I should go and stay with her. Traveling always surprises me in the best way. It quickly reveals when I'm being too rigid or stubborn. And at the same time, it gives me the chance to break free from routine, embrace the unexpected, and enjoy. I have experienced different extremes of the travel spectrum, from getting into debt with my credit cards to afford traveling, to saving up and being super organized and responsible. I've been on a ridiculously tight budget, backpacking, staying in sketchy hostels, sleeping back on a friend's bedroom floor, to staying in nice hotels and planning cool adventures. Even revisiting the same places with different people or in another season can offer so much perspective. I just really, really love it. A friend once said he wanted to visit more countries than his current age, and I think it's a cool challenge. So far, I'm okay for this year, but I will need a new country before next summer. I got this. I've been to 35 countries. I'm 35 years old. I still need actually that new country before summer. It doesn't really matter. I just think this is an excuse to keep traveling. If not, I will keep up. I trust myself. Now, when booking flights, I love looking over options on Google Explore section, which is basically scrolling the world map. I will put the link for this because I don't know if you're familiar with this. Hopefully you are, but you never know. I was also subscribed at some point to Jack's Flights Club, which is basically a platform that allows you to receive ticket deals notifications. And I'm sure there's plenty of those. It's just like you sign up and they eventually send you, oh, there's this great deal for this place or the other. But more and more, at the end, I ended up unsubscribing because I really don't like FOMO, and I couldn't go to any of the places they were suggesting. Like they were like extremely far, or even though they were great deals, they were still quite expensive for me. So I decided just to give a pause to this overstimulate. I was being overstimulated by these notifications. Though I've yet to try the thrill of buying last minute flights, it's on my list. I actually like checking what are the usual prices, how often they change, and if possible, a few different combinations for the final destination. That way, I will actually know when I see a good deal, and I can confidently book without regrets. This is still me. I keep saying that the best secret for me is just like I keep checking. I'm a checker, and this helps me to know. Okay, I've never seen this thing so cheap. Now it's the time. And there's also this option in Google Flights that you can track prices and or see the prices as a date grid to choose a better date combination or like a price graph to check the price changes over the previous month. So you can also have an idea if it has been changing a lot or not. And yeah, for the time being, this is also, I still do it, which is I use Instagram's collections for ideas on what to do or where to go. I have different folders, and every time I see something worthwhile, I save it. This way, I already have options to consider whenever I have some free time. If you're traveling with someone, you can also allow friends to see your collection. I really like this because so many times I see something and then when I'm going to that city, or it doesn't happen anymore so often because I am more organized now, but it was like, oh, I wish I saved that place that I knew it was here. So now I just have a bunch of them saved. And if I really have time or I feel like I really need to go there, I even go directly and save it on Google Maps. And yeah, then when I am there, I just try to take a quick tour on Instagram and see if there's anything that already caught my attention. So it's a cool way if you are organized that way, or if that calls you. There's also people who doesn't really care, and they just walk around and find things, and that's also valid. These are resources at the end of the day. My way doesn't mean that it's the right way, right? Short story time. Meet me halfway. I actually met my husband, as in I saw him for the first time in real life at Rome's airport. I remember thinking it was a good idea to meet on middle ground, not knowing if our chemistry in messages would translate in person. Our initial plan was that if things didn't go well, we'd still enjoy a great vacation exploring Italy. Luckily, it turned out to be the start of a journey together. After a year after Italy, I visited him in Beirut for a 2-month vacation. Vacation. That ended up being a year-long stay before I returned back home to Venezuela just for the Christmas holidays. I then went back to Beirut and lived there for another 8 years. Next week, we're celebrating our 9th wedding anniversary. This is cute because in about 2 months, we're going to celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary. So it's interesting. Yeah, I'm not always that risky, but moving felt easy to me. Given that the situation back home wasn't the best and I quickly found a job in Beirut, it just made sense. Also, when you're in love, you can probably make sense of anything. Honestly, I would have regretted if I hadn't done it. But now I don't have to worry about that. Greetings from someone who still juggles between the thrill of adventure and the art of unwinding, but is determined to discover distant shores and local treasures. If you stay till here, thank you so much for for listening to me going over through another episode. I have here on the resources. So at the end of the newsletter episodes, there's a section for paid members, who is basically, I call them behind the scenes, where I go a bit further into what went behind the scenes while I was recording the episodes, and also like a few tips, like what I'm into, what I'm interested. Basically, was just like an added value. I do think that if someone chooses to be paid subscribers, just like to support me in the journey. But I wanted to give like something more. So this is me trying to just, like share also what is interesting for me and what might be a good resource for them. I put here actually a few tour companies. I will put them on the comments here. But there's like Legend Tours, which is a tour company that I have done for free walking tours. There's someone I follow on Instagram that is called Prior Travel. I haven't used them, but I really like how it feels that they create their trips. There are some offers from Entre Azules, which is a group trip that goes to Maldives. I also haven't used this, but it's something that it definitely caught my attention. And there's someone who's called Hello Sandwich that she created a travel guide about Japan, and I like her aesthetic, so I also follow her. I really think that sometimes, at least for me, like already following people that lives in the specific city and see where do they go and how do they move, or really how things work, it already helps me prepare when I'm really excited into going to a new country, or a culture that I know that will be extremely different. So yeah, thank you so much again for being here, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye.